What is going on, everybody? It's Pat. We are back with our next video, and today this is an emergency because as of right now, Solana just crashed. How far? It crashed 18% today. And now, if you remember in the last video, we were looking at this macro distribution, and it seems to be playing out perfectly. Now, we came from the UT and we were saying it's going to come down here, down onto this AR low. And right now we are well on our way there. And we're falling all the way down into this discount zone down here, which was at about 140. We're at 140, 182. It's been fluctuating back and forth for the past few hours. And this distribution seems to be playing out exactly how we planned it. So I hope you guys made a bunch of money on that. And let's get into what's going on here, where we can expect bounces and everything like that. Okay, so one thing I'm looking at here, this is the liquidity. We have on the weekly, it's this one. On the daily, it's this one. Now, what I'm noticing right away here is that there is very little long liquidity left. So when you look down here around 132, 134-ish, that's about where our long liquidity ends right now. And it's right around the same down on the daily. So we have all of these shorts up here. What's this? It's got to be at least like $605 million worth of shorts. And there are no longs below us. Now, obviously, it can still keep going down even when there's no longs below us. It just did that. It continued past our long liquidity. And now, since we just started bouncing a little bit, it's starting to get some new longs coming in here. Anyway, above us, what we should be looking at is the end of the high leverage liquidity up here around 182. And when you look on the daily, you look like where the big chunk of the liquidity ends. It's around this 166 to 168 area. Those are definitely some important places to be watching. So let's see if we can match that liquidity up with any areas on our chart here. Let's zoom in a little bit for this. Now, we're looking at above us at 182. So that's right up here around this daily fair value gap. That's a good place to be looking liquidity wise, like right in between these two fair value gaps. So assuming if we get a bounce, which we don't necessarily have to, but if we do, that's the place to be looking. There's also another daily fair value gap right there. So let's mark that. That's at 166.26. So where's that on our liquidity? Okay, so there's a break in the liquidity right there before we get all the way up here. So that 166 area is another good place to be looking at. And on the daily, that would take out the majority of our daily liquidity. So that 166, that daily fair value gap, is a good place to be looking. Now, anyway, what we're expecting with this entire distribution is that it's going to come down into the low of the range at the very least. So we're looking down here in the 115, maybe to 108, 109 area, and may even take out these lows down here. So at that point, we would be looking a little further down here. I have some fib extension targets here that I'm watching, and let's pull one more. Okay, that one down here is 74.59. And I see the 59 one is actually a pretty big order block over here. 74 is another one, but this one is a little more important. Okay, so that was on the logarithmic, and now we'll look at the linear stuff now. So this actually can come to, wow, well, obviously it's not going to hit -5, but down at 38 down here, and then some of these targets look a little more realistic because it would take out some of these lows. You have a lot of liquidity down there from back when people went long, and this is what pushed it up initially. So that order block down there, that's a good place to look. We also have all these little daily fair value gaps down here, so we're going to look for those to get filled. Let's look on the weekly, see what kind of weekly fair value gaps that we have. Yeah, it comes all the way down to here, down to that 24 area, right before we started breaking upwards. Now, if this is actually a complete distribution, this would look more like this. It would be UT, UTAD, and then it's going to keep coming down. You would say the test would be here, and from there, it's just going to continue down. It would be like up in this area, would be here. So it would keep coming down. You get the last point of supply, and then we would break under here, get the second sign of weakness, consolidate a little bit, and then keep coming down. If that's a complete distribution, and that would mean that the cycle is pretty much over and we're going into a bear market. And honestly, the way this is dumping right now, it doesn't seem too far-fetched. So I guess we'll have to see if that actually ends up happening or not. Basically right now, I'm in my shorts, I'm holding my shorts. I have shorts from a lot higher that we took in my VIP Discord, and we're just holding on to them right now. Anyway, let's come over to Bitcoin for a minute now. I'm looking on a weekly here, and this looks like a top, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. I mean, I see a macro distribution going on here as well. So it's going to be like this. It's going to be your buy climax, automatic rally, secondary test, sign of weakness, UT, UTAD, test is going to be in here, and then this is going to come down, and it's going to look like this. You're going to come down like here, you're going to get a little bounce, and then it's going to keep coming, come underneath here, consolidate a bit, and then continue all the way down. And that's going to be our last point of supply. And then we're also going to get the second sign of weakness, another last point of supply, and it's going to continue to distribute from there. Now, let's go take a look at another chart that I have on Bitcoin, because there was an important level. Now, we actually ended up coming and hitting our wave 5 target up here on the macro. We had the linear wave 1+3, the 1.618, and we came up perfectly right onto that level and rejected from there. Let's take a look at the liquidity on Bitcoin. Now, on Bitcoin here too, we're actually running out of long liquidity as well. It comes down to about 87 to 88,000, and then that's all we have left. However, if this is a distribution, the liquidity doesn't always matter. Sometimes they just continue pushing it all the way down. Like if we get a big sell-off event, then they're not hunting liquidity, they're just dumping it. They're trying to sell their bags. And I think that could be what we're about to see here. Now, I was looking at that big dump on Solana. Actually, I had posted last night in my Discord right before it started dumping. And then we all went short on it, and we all made a bunch of money today. That was great. So anyway, let me show you my Discord in case you want to know the exact levels that I'm trading on a daily basis. So over here in my private VIP Discord, you could see yesterday at 8:10 p.m. I said, guys, I'm looking at the daily right now with none of the noise, and I think this is just going to fall straight through. It looks terrible. This doesn't look like a base at all, and the weekly, my goodness, it's awful. We were at 165.78 when I said that. Now, as you know, we're currently all the way down at 140.26. That just fell $25 since I posted that. And we got the short in when I posted this, and it was perfect. Now, I continued on to say, well, actually, it's fantastic for us because we have perfect shorts. But it really sucks for the people who buy on spot and hold. The new weekly candle brought more of the same. Momentum crossed below the zero line and has a whole bunch of downward strength. And the Bitcoin daily looks ready to do this. And guess what? That's exactly what it did. Now, for the people who had missed the initial short that we took, I gave updated levels today at 11:32 a.m. And see right here, 154.57, I gave this LTF short entry level right there. And so what happened? Bang, nice short. Came right up, hit the level, and it kept dumping from there. So even if you had missed the initial trade that I was in, there's still more opportunities to get in. And you can also see this right came down into one of my high time frame long levels, and we scalped that right off into this level. A lot of levels that we snipe on a daily basis, and it's all in the VIP Discord. So go check the link below. It's a Patreon link, and come join us because we are sniping these levels every single day. There's a whole lot of money to be made in this market regardless of what direction it's moving in. But you have to be in the right trades, and I can help you get there. So make sure you go check out that link and come join us. Now, if you want to see a history of all the trades that we've hit in the Discord, you can come over to my website. It's www.digilex-llc.com. And there's a section here, our most recent trade calls in Discord. And I keep all the receipts. So you can come here and see exactly what we do every single day. It's definitely worth the membership. I'm telling you, you'll make it back in the first trade or two. Like this one, this was pretty awesome. I had this fractal that we were following this whole way. It was perfect, and we actually nailed the bottom from it. It was an 86% pump that we got after that. That was on Ethereum. So we trade Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, and a bunch of different altcoins. And if you want to get those levels, make sure you come join us in the Discord. All right, that'll do it for this one. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.